Some of the common things for all the buildings would be HVAC, plumbing, heating, electrical for the sanctuary, the Smith building, the memorial building. There also would be new HVAC system for the Shetler building, but that's a separate system. It's not connected to the system that ties together the other three buildings. We don't have fire suppression systems in our buildings. That's something that frankly we desperately need to do because we have such a wonderful interest in all of these buildings that will provide us with a great deal more secure feeling about the protection of the buildings, and so that's campus-wide in all of our buildings that we're going to put fire protection systems in. Electrical is decades old and needs updated. We will do that throughout the buildings wherever it needed. There's a Shetler building will not need as much, but the other campus buildings need substantial upgrades on that. We have a need for plumbing. Again, the pipes have served us well. In fact, they've served us in many instances since the church was built over 80 years ago. So all of that will need updated, and that's again primarily in Sanctuary Smith and in the Memorial Building. We have hazardous materials abatement in all of our buildings except for Shetler. There are some locations where there is some need for hazardous abatement work, and that would include Corl as well as Smith, Memorial, and the Sanctuary. One of the gifts we think it's important to give to future generations is to rid any of the construction materials that have been used in our buildings from being hazardous materials. When they were used, they were thought to be the finest construction methods. And they were, as known then, and not everything was known about what the potential downside would be, but we now know. And so for future generations, we don't want anyone in this church to have to worry about dealing with that ever again. And so that's a significant part of the campaign, is to get those materials out, and that would affect the four buildings I said. In addition to hazardous material abatement, the only other thing that's planned right now with respect to the Corl building is to work on getting a better fresh air supply into the building. Okay. We want to try to improve the quality of air, and when I say that, the quality of air is, there's nothing of any danger with respect to the quality of air. And I should quickly say, with respect to hazardous materials in any of our buildings, they're all encapsulated and have been tested, and there's no issue with respect to any of those now. We just don't want there to ever be one. The Corl building is in a place where, of our structures, it's the one that has the shortest lifespan remaining. And that's true for a number of reasons, focused on structural and other reasons with respect to the building. So we want to be careful in terms of a cost-benefit analysis to invest our money wisely in Corl. Right. And so we're not looking at doing an entirely new HVAC system. We're not looking at putting in a new set of windows or focusing on a tremendous expense with respect to changing in windows there, because we don't believe in looking at the cycle cost that we'll get our money back from that investment in our analysis. Right. To totally change the Corl HVAC situation, the likelihood is that best estimates would be $800,000 to $1 million more. And you can't see a way truly to get your life cycle costs back on that type of investment, given the projected lifespan of the building, which is more in a range of 15 years, as opposed to some of our other buildings, which are in a range, our sanctuary, I think, would be a building of the ages, for example. Yeah.